This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hello everyone. Very good morning to all. So in last session, we discussed about HTML and some of the tags we discussed. So remaining tags I'm leaving to you. You guys needs to check the remaining tags. There are so many tags are there in HTML, but I can tell you one thing. All the tags we may or we may not use in our application development, but some of the tags we can use regularly, like image tags, anchor tags, ulli tags, table tags. These are the some tags, divisions, sections, like this, semantic element, something. So these are the some commonly used tags in our HTML. So when I am creating a templates also by using HTML and CSS, we are going to try to use maximum of the elements, right? So at that time you will also get some clarity. What are all the elements? If we can list down, once a template is created, if we can list down the elements in that template creation, hardly we can see 30 40 element, not 30 40, 20 to 30 elements repeatedly. You cannot see more than that, guys, seriously. So that is what exactly the HTML elements we done with last session. Now it's the time to discuss about the concept called CSS, right? What is CSS? Don't say cascading style sheets, that everybody knows, right? What do you know other than this? If anybody asks you in interview, what is CSS? What is HTML? Will you say hypertext markup language? Don't say that definition. Try to change your definition right now onwards. If anybody asking you what is, don't say abbreviation. What is HTML? By using HTML, we can create web pages skeleton or web pages structure. By using CSS, we can design the websites. Yes or not, right? So design the website. Designing, right? Are you want to become a designer or you want to become a developer? Generally, you guys are learning all the UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JS, Bootstrap, right? And after that, you are going to learn about JavaScript. Okay, let me write the list. JavaScript and JSON, Ajax, jQuery, and React. These are the things you guys are going to learn actually, right? REACT, na? Right, React. JavaScript, JSON, Ajax, and jQuery, and something guys, or Angular. You can take anything, right? So here we have two things. I already told you in the starting of the session in a demo something. So what these three technologies, if you know HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, if you know what you are called, you know, this is completely come under front-end designing. What is this is called front-end designing. You know, one more thing, with the same technologies, if you know Photoshop, something called PHOTO, Photoshop, Corel, something like this, if you know these tools also, for example, if you know these tools, Photoshop, CorelDRAW, and something, you know, then what you are, then can anybody. So you should know HTML, CSS, Bootstrap also. Besides this, you should know Photoshop, CorelDRAW also. Then you are going to be called as UX developer. Understand? UI, UX, right? Or else UX developer, or else whatever it may be, we can say. What is UX? Nothing but user experience, right? What is UI? User interface creation, user interface interactions. That is called UI development, right? So now if you know these technologies, what I can call you, you know, you are a UI developer. You are a UI developer. So I have one question. What you want to become? Are you want to become UI developer or you want to become UI designer? But seriously, this case is different thing, guys. Photoshop and CorelDRAW is completely different. Even if you can go in this area, you are always going to work on Photoshop and CorelDRAW only. You are not going to be work on HTML and CSS. Maximum of the images creations, the templates, what is this is called wireframe creations and all will provide it to you. But I don't suggest you, but this is also good thing, right? So this is also good thing, but we want to get very good salaries, right, at the end of the day, right? So if you can see these two technologies, Are you here to become a front-end designer? Are you here to become a UI developer? Seriously, you at the end of the day, you all learning all the technology. Then what you are? So try to do one thing. Always try to work as a developer. Don't try to work as a designer. This is my personal opinion, personal suggestion also to you guys. Why? Because this designing work is called, guys, what this is called? Donkey work. What is this donkey work, sir? Why I am calling? See, actually, we are designing a template, and we all together design a template, and we say that, yeah, template is very good, looks very nice, and the ultimate job you did it is something like we are doing, in a team. But I created a template, I shown to you, you guys said, sir, this is excellent template, sir. You are saying that. All of a sudden, I taken the same template to customer. I'm sure. So we are all agreed with the template which we created, because the template is very nice, and I got very good appreciations and all from your team, because template is very good. All of a sudden, when we are showing to the customer will simply say, this is not at all good. Try to create one more template. See what is going to be happen there. So here, designing is challenging job. Designing is a challenging job. Whatever the design you are creating, with the design you have to satisfy everybody, but it is highly impossible. But I created a layout, you liked, but customer doesn't like. But you created a layout, I liked, but customer is not liking. Seriously guys, this is one of the challenging job. Designing is a challenging job, I want to tell you. Challenging job. Seriously guys. Oh, one more thing. Don't go in this way. Learning is challenging. No, learning is easy, right? Learning is easy. Challenging in the sense, with the design you did, you have to satisfy the customer. So if the customer is okay, then you will be feel very happy. That challenging. That is called challenging. Learning is easy, guys. Don't get confused here. Learning is very easy. So don't worry about it. Okay. Learning CSS, learning designing is very easy. Right? I want to write the point. Don't get confused here. Learning designing is very easy. Challenging job in the sense of satisfaction, we have to satisfy the customer with your design. So okay, this is exactly something challenging, to satisfy everybody with your design. So what is UI development, sir? Then in the development also we have challenges. Seriously, remember, I want to write one logic. You can go for any programming language, logic is same, logic will never change, guys. Same logic for every application. No one can see your logic. They will always look the front end designing only. What a user can do, what a end user can do, oh, front end only he can see. First of all, the first look and feel is all about the front end. It's all about the designing. What is the functionality you written internally, they will never bother about it. So the only thing you need to concentrate on the development. I mean, it's a good thing. We have very good packages in the development also, right? Even if you have an option to work on designing, if I am having an option to get designing, to work on designing, definitely I will say no. I want to do development only. Seriously, because I already face so many problems in the designing with the customers. But definitely, because I started my career very firstly with the designing only, that's the reason I'm saying you, this is what exactly you guys needs to concentrate. Development is easy. Some people have fear programming languages are difficult to learn. Seriously, programming languages are not at all difficult, they are very easy to learn. The only thing, you don't know how to write the code. That's why we are having fear, because of we don't know how to write the code. Seriously, this is the only problem with the people. So they don't know. See, some people will say, sir, I'm not good in writing logic, sir. Why you are not good in writing logic? Seriously says. You will say, sir, my friend is there. He is very good in writing logics. Oh, how your friend becomes very good in writing logics? Why we are not? We have to question like this. Seriously, logic. Okay, some people have one more fear. By seeing 10-15 number of lines of code, they have fear. So if it is a 2 3 4 lines of code, it is easy, people will feel like this. So the only thing I'm saying you guys, you have to able to write many number of lines of code. That may be anything, I don't know. right? So that may be 10, 15 lines of code or 1,000 number of lines of code we have to capable of write. So how we can write these many lines of code, sir? Yeah, seriously, we can write it. It's not a big deal. But the only thing, you should know the process, or you should know the requirement of the customer, what he is expecting. People are unable to get the requirement. People are unable to understand the requirement, what is from the customer. That's the reason we are unable to write the logic. Seriously. But logics are very, very easy. If you can go with the logics, I think things will be very easy to you guys. Logics are very easy. And one more thing, 4 to 5 lines of code maximum we can write in a logic. That's all. Three, sometimes one line logic, 2 lines logic, 3 lines logic, 4 lines maximum you can write if it is a very big. Seriously, logics are very easy. I will make you help. So how to build the logics? First of all, remember carefully, if you want to build any logic, you should know the requirement first. Without knowing requirement, no one can write. I may have 20 years experience, but without knowing requirement, I cannot write a logic. Seriously, guys, I cannot write a logic. Seriously, guys, I cannot write a logic. Yesterday we had a project actually. Just now I sent a message to the person early morning. We are unable to take your work. I have a freelancing work actually. What we observed, guys, one thing, he given a database architecture to us, but the database architecture was designed very deeply, interlinking each and every table together. But we are trying to fix out it, but we are unable to understand which table related with which table. So they are relational DBs. Everything is each and every table is related with some other table. We're unable to figure out. On the morning I sent a message, sorry, we are unable to figure out the solution, you can try for some other resource. And I understand that by seeing the application, what we understand, who developed this application, they can only write the logics for this. They can only write the API calls for your application. Actually, they need an API creation by using some backend technology. So who developed this application? They can only create it because they designed the database architecture. That's fine. So otherwise, you have to provide a developer to us, and we will talk to the developer, and we will figure out the solution. See, the thing is here, I'm just saying you, no one can be perfect in writing logics. First of all, and first and foremost thing, we should know how to write the we should know the requirement, then only we can build the logics. Without that, you cannot do, guys. Seriously says, right? Don't worry. So when you are writing logics, first of all, we have to understand the requirement very well. If you can understand the requirement very well, you can create a very big logics and very good logics. Let's keep it in mind and don't get fear by seeing the coding and by seeing the logics. Okay, right. Anyhow, come to our area. So we are talking about designing. So what is the designing here, guys? Uh, to construct a building, we need what we need exactly to construct a building. Generally, we need bricks, right? Bricks. Tell me one thing: by carrying a truck of bricks, will the building will be constructed automatically? Just I'm carrying a truck of bricks, or 10 trucks of bricks I carried, I kept on a floor. So will the building constructed automatically? No, definitely. We have to arrange the bricks properly, right? All the bricks are scattered in a place, and we have to arrange them properly. Arrange them. How can we arrange them? Definitely, some people will come there, they will arrange the bricks by using cement. Definitely, by using cement, they will arrange the things, and they will make a wall. They will make walls, they will make something in the home. So if you can see, bricks and cement working together to make some structure. In the same manner, we have a lot of HTML tags, right? So I want to consider these bricks as these HTML tags as bricks only. I want to consider this cement as a CSS as per our programming language. So we know that by writing collection of HTML elements in a single page, that won't arrange it properly. They won't be arranged properly. We need to arrange them properly. By you, who is the arranger of your HTML elements? Who will arrange the elements? By writing 5 div tags. Now I'm just writing this. Now you can see I written a div. I'm writing div tag open, div tag close. Okay, now you can see I'm writing div, right? Something like this. I written 5 divs. So if I execute this program, can I get all the divs side by side? Is it possible? It is never possible. By default, behavior of the HTML element is by default alignment is going to be left side, static alignment, and they will become one by one block level element. they won't be aligned side by side. What is I'm expecting, all the 5 divs I want to arrange side by side in a equal width. So who will do this job? By using HTML, can we do? We created so many forms as of now, we created some tables as of now, but they are all not designed at all. So who will design these things and all? Simply says CSS is the designer. CSS is the thing. So if there is no CSS, I mean, if there is no cement between the bricks, definitely the wall will be collapsed or the building will be collapsed. So to arrange the bricks, we are using cement. To arrange the HTML elements properly in a web application, we have to use the concept called CSS. So this is exactly the concept CSS. CSS will beautify our website. CSS will provide some colors to our website. So definitely once a building constructed, we have to paint it. Then the structure will looks very nice. Then the structure will looks very nice. Seriously says, this is exactly called CSS. People in real time, guys, one thing, technically people will call one slogan in companies, CSS is the heart of mm, web application, or HTML. Some people will say CSS is the heart of HTML. If there is no heart, a building will be collapsed, it simply says. Or CSS is the heart of web application. If CSS is not there, building will be collapsed, right? Why not? Why, what I am saying you can open any of the website here. For example, we have Gmail. So I'm pressing just F12 here. By pressing F12, I want to remove that body. So we have head section, right? In the head section, I removed head section. Can you see what went into the Gmail? Everything went scattered. Can you see? I'm not able to see all the content. Everything went wrong way. I removed just the hut of the element only, guys, here. So because of that, it went like this. Seriously says, right? So remember carefully, this is, if we can remove the hut will always be in the head section here. If you are removing that, the things will be collapsed together. We are not able to see anything on the screen. Exactly. So this is called beautification of the concept. I mean, the heart of the slogan. What is the slogan? People will generally will say, "You are my heart." Some people will say. So CSS is the heart of HTML. Simply says. CSS is the heart of web application. Simply says. I mean, if a heart removed, building will be collapsed. Simply says. I mean, uh, you are constructing a building without cement, definitely it will be collapsed. You are constructing a website without HTML, sorry, without CSS, then the elements will look like scattered in a page, right? You may write the elements in a page in a proper manner, but when you are displaying the output, they will be scattered. They won't be aligned properly. So we need to be careful for this. Exactly. Right. So first of all, this is all about some brief intro of the CSS, and you may heard about Bootstrap also, right? We can talk about Bootstrap later. It is not necessary to discuss right now. That is also a design framework. When I'm giving you, when I'm discussing the Bootstrap, I will talk about it. We can discuss Bootstrap at any time. Once JavaScript is completed, also we can discuss the Bootstrap. Why? Because Bootstrap is the combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Understand? So that if you know JavaScript as well, so Bootstrap will become somewhat easy for you. Right. Okay, great. So now let us move to your CSS setup. How can we set up the CSS? First of all, where can we write the CSS? Here, generally, there are three types of styles are there, guys. Here, three types of style sheets. Styles simply says. So they are going to be, one is going to be called inline styling. This is one thing. And second one is going to be internal styling, STYLING, internal styling. Right. One more is going to be external styling, EXTERNAL, external styling. These are the style concepts. So which one we can use in real time, sir? Well, based on your requirement, you can use any one, definitely. But in every web application development, definitely there is going to be external styling. After that, there is going to be inline styling. Very rarely people will use internal styling as well. Very rarely. I mean, it is not required for every pages. If some style is common, they will go for external, or they will sometimes they will go for inline also. but very rarely people will go for internal also. What is internal actually? What is external actually? What is inline actually? Right? Inline styling means the CSS styles which we are writing on an element are called inline styling, right? Let me write the property. The CSS properties which we are writing on an element are called inline styling. Inline styling simply says this is inline styling. Inline styles are added to an element. One more point, inline styles are added to an element by using a style attribute. It is a global attribute, I already told you. So global attribute, style is an attribute. Okay, this is exactly inline styling. We will see what is exactly inline styling. For example, if there is a div, inside the div we will take an attribute called style. This is the style equal to the CSS code will be goes here. CSS code, whatever it may be, you have to write like this. So I will show you how can we write the CSS code. Wait for some time. So next one is going to be, we have one more. The second one is going to be internal styling. What exactly internal styling here, what it will do, that also we have to check it. So inline means the CSS properties which we are writing on an element is called inline styling, right? So now it is going to be something like this, guys. So the properties which we are writing inside a document, not inside an element, inside a document, the CSS properties which we are writing inside a document, inside a document, inside a document are called inline styling. Inline styles are added to a document. Internal styles, right? So internal styles are added to a document. In a document, guys, to overall document we will write some styles if you can feel. For example, if you want to create a web page is a combination of different website is a combination of different web pages. No, I want to add some styles only for the one page only. Then it is internal styling. It is internal styling. Internal styles are added to a document, added to a document by using style tag. By using style tag, exactly. This is the tag we have to use. It is not style attribute, it is a style tag which we have to keep into the head section. Style tag, internal styles are added to a document by using style tag in head section. You can write the point also, style tag in head section. This is exactly going to be thing. So for example, you have HTML, open, HTML close. Inside of it, we have something called head open, head close. So here we can take the style element. Actually, we know we will take title always here. So beside the title, beside the title either before or after, you can take the style attribute, style tag open, style tag close. This is the way of taking style. Now you're going to write some CSS code, whatever the code you want, right? You're writing some CSS code here. This is exactly internal styling. So whatever the properties you are writing inside the style tag, they are available within the document only. One question, sir, whatever the styles I written in one document, can we access in other document? It is not possible. So the styles you written in one file, they can be accessible. You want to access the same into other file, then you can copy these styles and you can paste into the document also, they will work for you. But that's not a good idea, right? So how many times will you copy? All of a sudden I have 100 pages. I copied all the same style for 100 pages. All of a sudden, customer is asking you change the background color. So then you need to open all the 100 files wherever that color is there that we have to change the background color. This is a burden to us. Then you will thought, sir, is there any way if I change the color in one place, it should be affected to each and every file of my web application, right? That is called external styling. External styling will always use helpful to reuse the style documents. Exactly. Styles, right? External styles are created into a separate external CSS files. right? The CSS properties we are going to write inside a separate CSS file. They are called external styling, right? Let me write the point here. The same I want, right? The CSS properties which we are writing in a separate CSS file, in a separate CSS file, separate CSS file, that is called external. So it's not in the document, not in an element. We will create a separate file. So in that file, we will write the CSS, and wherever you want, you can link them. That's all. So just after linking that, you can go to any of the CSS file. You can change it. The links, the changes will affect it to each and every of your web page. This is called external. The CSS properties which we are writing in a separate file, CSS file, are called external styling. Are called EXTR, external styling. The CSS files are created with an extension .css. The CSS files are created with an extension .css. So these are called external CSS files. Right, write this point also. External CSS files are linked into the document, by using link tag, This is exactly link tag in head section, that too, head section. Okay, now you can see, for example, you created a file with name called styles.css. Okay, this is the styles.css. This is a separate file you created in your project. In this, you are writing some properties. What are the properties? Some CSS code. Okay, let us assume you're writing some CSS code. It's the properties and all. So in a HTML document, you have to link it, right? Yeah, definitely. This is your HTML document. If you want to link this, definitely the CSS file will be linked like this. Style is not required in place of it. Now you are going to use a link tag. It is a self-closing tag. Here, link href is equal to the name of the file you created, styles.css. And this link should have an attribute called relation. This is very, very important. Remember, without this relation attribute, that won't work. Even though you included a style document by using link, without this relation attribute, that won't work. What is the meaning of relation? Means that how this document style.css is related with the HTML document as a style sheet relation. What is the relation between the current document and styles.css is, it's a style sheet relation. This is exactly we have to provide SHEET, style sheet. If you're not providing style sheet, it won't work whatever the style is you written in the HTML document, right? So these are called some of the style sheets. Okay, right, let us go. I'm copying these properties and keep this, because in interview they will ask us what is inline styling, what is external styling, and all they will ask you. So I'm just sending you in the chat window, and just copy these things, guys. Okay, all of you. When I am giving you some points, please make one document like a Google Drive, so you can copy paste there all the CSS nodes, all the HTML nodes, JavaScript nodes, so that, see, what are the points I'm going to give you, they are very important for interview. If I feel that is important for interview, definitely I will write and I will send you back to you. And please save in some way, and definitely they will be helpful a lot for you interviews. Our session is enough. We don't want to concentrate especially on interviews. Session is enough. So on the fly, I will discuss your interview questions as well. I think it will be helpful for you a lot, right? Okay, so these are all the style sheets we seeing, right? Three styles: internal, external, something, right? So first of all, what is a CSS? CSS is a designing thing, right? By using CSS, we can design. And one more thing, CSS is a collection of style properties. Style properties, PROPERTIS, properties. What is a property? Generally, a property value. For example, money is a property. Tell me the value of the money. I have 5 lakhs. That is value. I mean, simply what I want to say, money. If you can think this is a property, I can say the value is going to be 5 lakhs. Key and value pair combination, guys, simply says money is a key and its value 5L is the value. I have car. car is a property. How many cars are there? That is the value of the car, 5 cars, something like this, right? Whatever it may be, something like it is going to be like this. That's the property. So money is a property, car is a property, home is a property, laptop is a property, mobile is a property, everything is a property, right? CSS is a collection of style properties. Why I mentioned the word style properties? These properties are used to design an element, guys, right? You know, the CSS declaration will be completely different. So always remember, CSS is having collection of predefined properties. Collection of predefined all the properties in CSS. I won't write this. All the properties in CSS are predefined, not defined by you, not defined by me. They're all predefined by the CSS. All the properties, I don't know how many properties, lakhs, thousands of properties are there. All thousands of properties are provided by the CSS. They're all predefined. We cannot write our own properties there. I told you, in HTML, we can write an element like this. It will be works for you. But in CSS, can I write rom element, rom something, rom property, rom red color? Can I give something like this? No, there is no way at all. There is no way at all. We can't do anything. But remember, all the CSS properties are predefined. So then what about the values? So every property have a value, right? We know that every property have a value. I have a one doubt for me. All the properties of the CSS are predefined means, what about the values of them? Values are also predefined. Or values we have to provide our own values? I have a big question here. So what exactly this is, sir? We need to provide our own values, or can we need to provide predefined values, or is there any predefined values? We may have a question like this, guys. Then what we have to say in this point of view, right? Remember carefully, guys. I want to tell you one thing. The value of a CSS property, sometimes it is predefined, sometimes it is your own property. So we cannot say exactly here. Remember carefully, all properties are mandatory. All the values, all the values of a CSS properties may be predefined or user defined. I won't write like this, may be predefined or user defined also. Sometimes some values will be user defined, sometimes the values may be predefined. Exactly. So that's why I just writing this. Now you can see the syntax of the CSS, guys. What is the syntax of the CSS? Let us talk about the syntax here. The syntax will become like this: selector. Try to see, guys, this is the selector. After that selector completed, we will take curly bracket. We'll take curly bracket. What this curly bracket is called, you know, this is called declaration. What it is called? Declaration. In this curly bracket, we will declare the CSS properties. That's why this is called declaration, right? So here we will take, you can hit enter or you can write something, guys. Can you see here? I'm writing a property color colon red. So I'm just writing the property color colon red. Simply, oh, it is not required. Simply you can write like this, right? Red semicolon. I won't write one more property called font size 20 pixels or something like this I provided. Can you see, what did you understand of this by seeing this? What is a selector, right? What is a selector? So let me open the paint for better understanding this. So let me explain you very clearly here, right? Yeah, guys. Now you can see what is declaration. We can check it. Now I am keeping the code here, whatever the code I written there. Yes. Hmm. And semicolon, and if you have anything you can write so on so on, whatever it may be, right? Exactly, this is the thing. Let me increase the font size a little bit, right? Can you see, guys, here? So here this portion is called, what we can call them and what we can call this, right? So this is color. What is a color? Color is called property. Color is called property, PROPERTY, property. And the red is called value. Exactly, value. Or simply I want to call, by combining these two, I will call it as a pair. One pair key and value pair combination. I want to call them as a pair. Now I just want to call it as a pair, one pair. So all are going to be wrapped into a curly bracket call. That is what exactly we can call everything I want to call. Now you can see this everything inside the curly bracket. What I want to call, I want to call this as a declaration. So all the declaration will be happen inside of the curly brackets only. Declaration. And one more thing, every pair, every pair separated with end symbol. Oh, sorry, separated with semicolon. You can see. So here I won't write every pair, PAIR, every pair, SEPA, separated with semicolon, very important, semicolon, exactly. Pair means two values, right? Key and value pair. Remember carefully, property and value. I won't write one more thing. Property and value is separated, SCPA, separated with colon symbol. This is very important, separated with a colon. Pair is separated with semicolon, and the value and property are going to be separated with a colon symbol. Like this, this is the CSS. The curly bracket, what we are writing in the curly bracket is called declaration. Right here you can see curly brackets denotes declaration, denotes declaration, where we can declare the CSS properties. Okay, right, just you can remember this. All these are very important. They look like very simple points, but very important for us for interviews also, guys, so keep it in mind. Exactly, I sent you also. So this is all about the basic of the CSS. Now how can we add a document? Oh, I forgot to tell you one more thing here. What is the selector? Oh my god, this is a very important thing, guys, here. So I forgot to tell you. Can anybody, if you have any idea what is a selector? This is very important to know in CSS. Whenever you are learning jQuery, whenever you are learning JavaScript, we will use a concept called selector regularly. What is a selector exactly? I just want to know. Do you have any idea what exactly a selector is? Yeah, see guys. Now I am writing some properties. Try to see. Here I have to write some style properties. Okay, these are the some properties I am writing. Color colon red. Okay, na? Right. Font size, I'm just writing font size 20 pixels I written. Font weight, WIGHT, font weight 500 something I written. Or bold, you can write something called bold. Okay, we have group of properties, we grouped into a declaration called curly bracket. Okay, now let us assume this is the CSS properties you written. In a document I have a h1 element, I have a div element, I have a paragraph element, I may have a bold tag, I may have a bold tag, I may have a italic tag, whatever it may be, they're all the tags. Remember, these are all the tags. So we have group of properties here. We have group of HTML elements are there. Tell me one thing, sir, I written properties, CSS properties. These properties should be applied to which element? You want to apply the properties to H1, or you want to apply the properties to paragraph tag? So we have to, from the document, we have to select an element to design. That is called selector. Which element you want to select, that element you have to keep here. As part of the syntax, we written selector in front of the declaration, right? So in this, to which element you want to design. For example, you want to design the h1, then just in front of this declaration, just write h1 tag. Then what happen, what are all the styles you written in this declaration block, they will be applicable to h1 tag only. That is called selector. So we know how to write CSS, but to whom we have to apply the CSS? We need to select an element from the document. In a document you may have so many number of elements are there. From the so many number of elements, I want to identify an element to design it. I want to identify an element to design it. How we are going to be identify that element to design? This all about the selector. So tomorrow we can talk about the CSS selectors. This is very, very important. Remember, if you are missing here, I think you may not understand JavaScript, you may not understand in jQuery also. Very important, guys, very, very important. Please be careful. So CSS properties are very, very important. And moreover, CSS, the selectors. What is a selector? Tomorrow I will tell you the purpose of a selector, how we are identifying element. See, in my document I may have 30-40 anchor tags, 30-40 h1 tags. I want to apply style to the particular element only, particular h1 element only, all not that for all the 30 elements I don't want to apply. I want to apply the selected element in the h1 only. I want to apply the styles. How we are going to be apply these styles to an element, particular selected element only. So you have to select the element, you have to select the element from the group of elements, that is called selector. So by using CSS selectors, we can select an element to design. So how we are going to select an element, that we will see in the tomorrow session, right? Thank you guys then. So please let me know if you have any doubts.